I grew up confused about my culture and identity and felt out of place most of the time until I found comedy, which forced me to be honest with myself, and I realized mostly I'm just an expat brat. Welcome to my show. I'm Salman. All right, guys, it's the end of 2024. Here we are, having achieved all our goals and made our life amazing, just like we promised ourselves at the beginning of this year, and everything went well, and everything is just perfect. It's been quite a year for me. Some of the lowest lows and some really nice highs. It just makes me realize as I go every year into this, and I think because I'm podcasting more and recording these, I'm more conscious of the conversations I've had. It's really funny how we look at things and how we constantly think everything is improving or not improve, like life is shit or bad, and there's no absolute, is there? There's just some good days. You sometimes are on a roll, sometimes you're not, and then because we mark our lives in time periods that were created by, I don't know who created this, right? And it's a year long, and at the end of the year, I feel compelled to look back and go, this is what happened. And that's where you notice some things have really improved, even though some really bad things have happened along the way. And I don't know, I'm just at a place where I kind of go, all right, look, we're never at a final destination until we're dead or whatever. And even after that, I don't know what's going on, right? Who can say for surety? But that's the day-to-day thing. And it's ending at least on a really high note, because there's a lot of stuff about my kiddo Zayan, and if it's the first time you're listening in, Zayan's he's just turned 6 end of November, and he's autistic, and so his speech has been delayed, and that's one of the areas we've been working on this year. And in the last couple of months, he started saying sentences and words, and not just like parroting them, but repeating them, making small demands like I want this or I want that. And that's been really amazing. It's kind of crept up on us. At the same time, it's like we've just gone, wow, this is incredible. But something happened just today, actually. It's like a post-Christmas gift. And it was him reading some stuff. And I didn't know when we'd get here or if we'd get here. At some point, you got to go with your own kids. As a parent, you got to go. In general, you just go, it'll happen when it happens in its own time. And today he read a couple of lines with his speech therapist. And initially I thought he was repeating something she's saying. And then I watched the video closely and spoke to her. And because she sends us videos of his session. And I realized, oh, yeah, he's looking at the words and he's reading it. And she said he's hit all the marks I had already put down for him a while ago. And that's why I've jumped into reading, because the other day, a couple of weeks back or whatever, she noticed him read a word out from a sign. It was the word family. And I guess very meaningful word in that sense as well. Thankfully, it was family and not some awkward word. So I can always tell the story to people now. And she looked at it and she was like, yeah, he read the word. He recognizes the letters, he put them together. And so she started testing him on, and she realized he reads, he can spell out a few words, and he's reading a few simple sentences. And man, you know, it's just, for me, it's like the best gift I could have had to end this year. He's, when you have your kid, first of all, he's got the cutest voice in the world. And anytime he does speak up, it's really, really cute to listen to him. And I just want to do whatever he's asking me to, just because, I'm like, hey, you ask me with words. It's awesome. You must really want it. and I think it's just incredible to see that. So I've just been over the moon about it. And as a parent, like what I was going to say was, you kind of, a lot of the times you want to have conversations with your little kiddo, in some way. I wouldn't even mind sign language at this point for him. I'd learn whatever way he wanted to communicate. And I guess we have been communicating in his own way. And I know that. But to have him tell me something, or me talking to him and knowing 100% that actually he is listening to me and he gets what I'm saying, those things are so awesome. It's such a cool thing as a parent to have that experience and to connect with your kid. When he wasn't saying words, one of my biggest fears was when he goes out and does things on his own and he gets independent. How do I know how to have a conversation about things like being safe, or if someone tried to harm him or something happened to him, for him to be able to tell me and not and not just like just let it slip. And so that's one of the reasons I'm really happy as well. But he's just a really fun kid too. His personality is really cute, and from that perspective, from a nice positive way as well. I just love this. It's like I said, it's one Santa Claus really delivered. I thought I'd be on the naughty list, but I think after the year my wife and I have had over the last couple of years, I think Santa was due to give us something nice, and boy, Santa's delivered. so yeah, I hope you have something really cheerful to end the year with as well. It sounds like I'm ending this podcast episode. I just started because I don't want to go into this whole goal setting thing. I've done it the last couple of years on these podcasts, and I just feel like I set these goals and stuff, but I can't help myself. It helps me stay focused. All right. I'm ADHD as well. So anything to kind of really listen carefully, that helps me, like, marking things out and keeping me on goal, on what's the word for this? On, like, what the hell, man? I've run out of words. Like staying on course. Yeah. Staying on course. That's what I'm talking about. I got to do that. I have to do those things. But the more I've looked over the last few years, the more I've kind of gone, this isn't a goal. I'm just putting this goal down for the heck of it. This is what I really want. This is what I've actually worked through and concentrated on in the year. And I think from that perspective, I got to tell you, I know sometimes people make fun of New Year's resolutions and stuff. Don't let it happen to you. Like, over the long term, it still helps, man. So keep going at it. I think you just get more clear about what areas you're working on, what is most important for you, and what you actually want to do, as opposed to things people kind of tell you should. And sometimes it's not too different. It's just the importance might be different, or the particular specific of it might be different. Who knows? And life changes. You change. People around you change. So you got to stay flexible around those things as well, And from that perspective, I'm not going to share it here. I'm still working on them. I've got a few days left to kind of go, this is what I'm going to do next. But yeah, looking back again, I think one of the other things I really enjoyed this year was stand-up. I've been doing stand-up for a while, but this year was fun again. Towards the end, I ran out of gas. I haven't gigged in the last couple of months. I was just so tired. It's been hectic work-wise in a good way. I'm happy to make money and be busy, but the last couple of months, I really, I was like, I'm done. And I've taken a break. And also, from an artistic point of view, I think I'd worked on these jokes. I've done them. I didn't want to keep doing the same thing over and over. I want to travel with them. So I kind of had a few nice gigs, and I thought, let's take a break. I tried signing up for a few more gigs, but I couldn't get myself out to do them. And that's important too. You burn out. I don't want to do stand up or anything artistic for the sake of it. I enjoy it so much that I think sometimes as an artist, you got to go, if I don't step back for a few days, I won't have something new to say, or I won't let an idea evolve enough, and you get stuck in that. So it's tricky. The more you perform, the sharper you get, and the more better you get at things. I get that too. So it's a fine balance between on and off. And I think, again, over the last couple of years, I think one of the things that has helped me is not to push too much about the fame aspect of it, or how big I am. And honestly, I can't even keep up if I wanted to. I can't do I see comics who are so sharp, these young kids, they'll get these cameras out, they'll have it recorded, they'll have it like edited in like the same night and have it up the next day. And I am in awe of how hard these guys work. I really am. And I think all of them deserve so much success for what they're putting out there. But it's just not me. I can't do it. I can't. I record some stuff. I'll get the videos. I have comic friends who like do it for me. Like, here, man, I got you the video. Put something up. Make sure you put your phone up. And I just forget, or I just get busy in the gig, and I can't do it. I'm horrible at it. And I I don't want to pretend. Like, it just frustrates me that I'm not able to do it. But at the same time, you make peace with, this is who I am, and right now maybe all I do want to do is just enjoy getting up there. There's something, I've said it over and over in all my episodes, I just love that live interaction with people from stage. I could do that every single day of my life and not be bored of it. It's just such an incredible experience for me, and I always feel blessed that I get these opportunities. Like, if I was in any other place, or if I didn't have such good friends, I probably wouldn't be booked anymore because of my stupid work ethic and whatnot, going on, busy life and whatever. So I'm grateful for it. There's a beauty to it, and we'll get around to it someday. All right, someday I'll catch up with all the tech and make things work. We'll figure that out. In the meantime, I think for me, I just want to, I just look at people. You know what? There's something I do want to share. This last year, one of the things I really enjoyed about stand-up, and I realized it was one of the most meaningful things that happened to me, was three times, three different people, three different audience members from three different shows over the last few months came up to me and said, "Hey, I was watching you. I watched your set, and I thought you were the funniest, and I had tears in my eyes from laughing. I was laughing so hard. I had tears in my eyes. I couldn't stop laughing." And they just went on about how much they laughed, that their insides hurt and whatever. And I've had different kind of appreciation, and people tell me you're good and not. But the fact that these three things came up, I mean, the same thing came up from three different people. This particular line they used, it meant a lot to me. It meant so much to me about how much I enjoyed getting them to that place, to getting them to laugh so hard. And a couple of people just inspired to try comedy themselves. I always encourage that too. But that meant a lot. It meant more than any recognition in a media I've ever got, any award I've ever got. Well, monetary gain, I'm not gonna complain about that, but honest to God, these three lines really stood out for me. I don't know why, but it just meant a lot to me that I was able to hone my skills enough to get to that place, because I don't think people say that lightly. I think, and it's the way they said it as well. It wasn't like hey, you're really funny, I really enjoyed you on stage, or your set or whatever. It was a genuine, they made it a point to tell me that they just were laughing so hard that they had tears rolling down their eyes. And it's crazy because a while ago, maybe 5-6 years ago, I remember going to watch Michael McIntyre. I love the guy, live at one of his specials. And there's this one bit he does. It's on YouTube as well, but I got to watch it live. And it's this whole bit about him going to a dentist. And I sort of that's the day I understood the meaning of rolling on the floor laughing, ROFL, whatever. Did I say it right? so old. Because that whole bit made me want to fall down on the ground because I was laughing so hard. And it always stayed with me. I was like, hey, for a comic to be able to get me to this place, that's incredible. And I haven't reached that stage yet, but the tears was close enough. And I guess they also, when you work hard all year long, you just kind of, it's hard. It's easy to forget how far have I come, how good has my comedy become, and for them to, kind of tell me, hey, dude, it was actually really good. It actually is coming to a point I can measure it against some things I've heard before and later and blah blah. It felt great, So these two amazing things happened to me personally and professionally, and I think that's a good way to sign off 2024. To say, hey, there's a very deep painful personal moment with losing my dad back in April. And none of this, no good will help me overcome that bit. But there were two very meaningful things that happened nevertheless, and life moves on as well. All right, I'm gonna keep this episode kind of short, mainly because I've been binging on Chicago PD, random TV show. As I grow older, I'm just used to these police dramas. What do they call? Yeah, like I don't know. Like there's a word for them. Medical dramas, medical procedural dramas. Is that what they're called sometimes? Something like that. Medical, not so much, but I've watched a few cop shows and a few first responder shows. And lately, that's been something I've been like hooked onto. And Chicago PD, luckily, has like 9 or 10 seasons that I never watched. But there's if you do, it's on Amazon now. All right. If you do, I'll just give you a heads up. They have this strange thing where you won't understand a couple of episodes every season, 1 or 2 episodes, and it took me a while to figure this out. What happened is they had these parallel shows going on, which is Chicago, the fire guys, you know, the first responders, and Chicago Medical. I don't know what those two shows are called, but they have 3 parallel shows in the same universe in Chicago, and I think the whole thing is called Chicago 1 or something like that. So sometimes they have characters that are in both series, and so you'll see crossovers a lot. It's like the Marvel Universe world before Marvel did it, but for like these particular professions. And every so often they'll have one episode, one storyline, which starts off in the other series and crosses over to this one. So the second part is the police taking over and investigating something. And I was just like, or something that happened here, and then it ends on the fire department show, whatever it's called, man. And so I was like, when did that person get killed, or what flashback am I seeing here that wasn't there in the previous episode? I finally figured it out, and then read up online of a lot of people going through the same thing. So it's actually a good, fun show. The main character is really interesting. Is this old the Hank Voight character is quite popular as well, apparently online. I like the show. It's been fun. Season up to season 4 or 5 is amazing. Season 6, 7 onwards, there's a lot of new characters, and they got rid of this one. I'm not going to tell you who it is. Don't worry, it's not a spoiler alert. But they got rid of one character that it was everyone's favorite, and it was like a really important character, and I don't know why they got rid of it. It was just so sad. Like, it wasn't like the actor wanted to go off. There, you know, some people have left the series like any other TV show where they want to do something else, or blah contract issue, whatever it is. This actor didn't want to leave, and they killed him off. And I'm like, why would you do that? He was one of the best characters, the most popular characters on this show. This isn't Game of Thrones. You didn't need to do it, man. We want to hear the stories of these guys, of that guy particularly. So that's the one, and that has affected the show a little bit. But I guess at this point I'm hooked and old, and if I found something that I can keep watching, then you know, it feels nice to do it. That's what I've been binging on, even though there's some other great shows who have dropped their new seasons, like Shrinking. My wife and I watched together, and we've just watched a couple of episodes of the new season. It's still amazing. The second, Harrison Ford is so good in it, and well, I haven't come back around to watching all of it just yet because I'm Chicagoing my way around, man. Look, I'm gonna stop this episode here. Just keep it, like I said, slightly short. I had a few nice positive things to say, and I've recommended a TV show. If you get into it, let me know. If you watch it, what you think about it. In the meantime, I'll probably drop a couple more episodes to close off this year, so keep a lookout for that. Meanwhile, enjoy the rest of your week. Take care. Thanks for listening, people.
Thanks for joining us on another adventure with the Expat Brat, proudly brought to you by Capper Productions. If you enjoyed the show, Please help us keep the mic running by clicking the link in the description and dropping as little as $3 to support us. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on our latest episodes.